didn't see you there. I'm Connor Benton. I'm going to be talking to you about meiosis. Meiosis happens in two phases. There's meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 starts out with the interphase, which is where the genetic information starts to replicate and go from chromatids into sister chromatids, which form pairs, which turn into chromosomes. So they'll replicate and have duplicate pairs like that, like so. So you'll have the chromatid replicate, joined by a centromere in the middle, and then you'll have sister chromatids right there, forming a chromosome. The next phase of meiosis 1 is prophase 1. Now, what happens there is tetrads form and traits. They'll mingle, and then what will happen is they'll exchange some genetic information, and one of the chromatids, the two closest ones, they'll exchange a little bit of information, and one of the chromatids will become mixed, and this will happen with both of the pairs of chromatids. Metaphase 1, which is where the like chromosomes, so the both are like, let's call the purple ones recessive and the yellow ones dominant, they will move on and they'll group together, and spindles will pull them apart. Anaphase 1, where the chromosomes start drifting farther apart and they start to pull off, and a second cell begins to form, which leads to telophase 1, which is where the cell starts to really split and expand, and you can start to see the definitive forms of a new cell forming. And then after that, cytokinesis happens, and then you have two sister cells. Through the end of meiosis 1, we move into meiosis 2, which is the second phase of meiosis.
So basically in prophase 2, spindles begin to form and they connect on either side of the chromosomes and pull them apart. They are then lined up in the middle of the cell, as you can see.
Metaphase 2.
The genetic material then lines up in the middle of the chromosome to be prepared to split off by the spindles.
Phase 2 and telophase 2, and that occurs within each individual cell. And what happens is the spindle fibers, after the cells are lined up along the center of each cell, you have they line up and then they're pulled apart into individual chromatids, and they're split up into their own individual cells, which forms haploid cells, which will eventually pair up with the haploid cells. They formed from the diploid cells, which were the cells that had the full sets of chromosomes. So like this is a diploid. If these two were in a cell and these two were in a cell, these would be right here with the 4 haploid cells. That each of these is a gamete, and basically meiosis is the formation of gametes. Dependent assortment allows for just different genes to get tossed around. Crossing over allows for more variation and more
Diversity?
Yeah, more. Thanks, Noah. More diversity.
Right.